My child, my beloved, I never wanted to speak to you in this way, but heaven can no longer remain silent. You were warned many times through gentle whispers, through dreams, through delays, and through those gut feelings that made you pause for a moment. Yet you kept walking past every single one. Now it's my turn to speak up, Archangel Michael. You made a big mistake that let you into a room you weren't supposed to be in. I tried to stop it. You didn't listen when I begged for more time. Now something is moving toward you that shouldn't have been let out in the first place. Now is the time to act, or you will have to handle what's coming on your own. As soon as you start reading this message, there is one last chance to help. If you back out or wait again, though, bad things will happen quickly and hard, like a wave building behind a dam that can't hold anymore. Pay close attention, because I'm still fighting for you. You can still reach your soul if you are still here, my child and beloved. It means that the harm can still be fixed. You can't ignore this again, though. You shouldn't ignore this sign or think it's just a coincidence. This is a meeting between God and man. Even if you didn't know it, what you did messed up the plan God had for your life. You let the wrong energy attach to you when you said something, agreed to something, or went along with something. It's getting stronger, and it's already changing how people see you, how you see yourself, and how blessings come to you. Many likely have already noticed the change, the delays, the confusion, the people who are pulling away for no reason, and the sudden tension in places that were peaceful before. This is not something you made up. It's a reminder of the mistake you made. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. Before the moment ends, I'm here to offer you one last divine intervention. It will be too late to stop what is happening in the shadows if you don't open your eyes now. Before I go on, let me ask you this, my child, my beloved. Are you really ready to find out what God saw when you did what you did? Are you ready to learn the truth that no one told you? This is not a light message. It is still hard. It's honest, because God loves you too much to lie to you. That's why I had to speak this message to your soul with fire, not to scare you, but to wake you up. You were born for something bigger than worry, and the cycle you feel stuck in. It was the spiritual line that no one saw you cross, though, that set off a chain of events. A delay was set off. In heaven, a warning was sent out. You kept moving forward, though. That's it for now. If you don't open this message all the way, something bad will happen soon. Now is the clear moment, the time when you can choose to move toward the light, or stay in the shadow of that choice. If your spirit is telling you to get clear right now, now is the time to subscribe. Not only do you follow content when you subscribe, it means getting in line with continued prophetic insight, divine warnings, and right-on-time guidance. When you subscribe, you set yourself up to stay in touch with what God is doing, not just today, but also in the days to come. Right now, I want you to agree with me in a quiet but strong way. Click Amen in the comments if you feel this truth and want to choose clarity over confusion. I'm not interested in this. This tells heaven that you are awake, ready to go, and willing to do so. Let your heart go with the choice you're making right now as you write it. And stay with me, because what comes next builds on this choice. There is no reason for your heart to be racing right now, my child or beloved. That is your spirit letting you know that the truth is coming. That's the wisdom inside you waking up after the enemy tried to keep it asleep. What's the mistake, you may be asking? What did I do? This was exactly what the enemy wanted, to blind you while they distracted you and used your name for something that was never meant to reach you. But God saved the day. Heaven put the plan on hold. I stepped forward to stop what was going to happen. But I can't make you see what you keep avoiding, no matter how powerful I am in heaven. You need to keep reading, because this message contains the key to undoing what you did before it becomes permanent. When that happens, not even I will be able to stop it. Take a moment to look at your screen before you go any further. I need you to do something that will open a new channel for God if your eyes are on this line. To subscribe, click the button. You are not just subscribing to a video when you do that. You are telling heaven that you are ready to receive miracles, instructions and warnings from God. It looks like you've joined God's army, and I will personally protect you with my wings. The next message might not get to you in time if you skip it. I know your heart is heavy, my child and beloved. I know that tears have been shed. You did your best, I know that. But bad things can still happen with intention if you are not aware of it. At this very moment, something you did by accident has let someone into your life who was never meant to be there. This person is jealous, but they hide it with smiles. They hide their anger behind fake support. They were taking notes when you made that choice. They were ready. They saw a weakness in you as soon as you made that move and moved quickly. That's why this message had to come from me quickly and strongly. There isn't much time left to close the gate. You need to stay with me until the end of this message so I can show you what heaven saw. You might never find out who this person really is or what they were planning to do with your name if you leave now. I can feel you now, my child and beloved, wondering what you missed and how something so important could be hidden in something so small. But doesn't the enemy always work through things that aren't seen, heard, or spoken? That time you put your trust in someone you shouldn't have, that choice you made without praying for divine guidance, or that yes, you said to an offer even though a voice in your head told you, this is not for you. The enemy never shows up with horns. They show up as the thing you thought you were waiting for. They are too kind, make too many promises, and have too much energy for your soul. You let it happen because your heart is pure. But God saw it. My job as your guardian has been to fight behind the veil to keep the cost of that moment from happening. But beloved, I can't keep it inside any longer. That's why this message showed up at the exact time it did. It was timed by heaven. You are about to pay for your silence, your delay, and your mistake, unless you wake up to this truth. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you directly. The strength of this message doesn't come from anger, but from the need to act quickly. We don't always know when we cross a line by accident, like when we don't pay attention to signs, wait too long, or trust the wrong person. It's okay if this makes you feel bad. Where comfort ends is where growth starts. No, this is not a punishment. It is being aware. You still have time to fix what's wrong, but only if you pay attention now. This is not something to pass the time. Stay until the end, because if you understand this movement, you won't make the same mistake over and over again. I can see you, my child and beloved, asking again what you missed and how something so important could seem so small. But doesn't the enemy always work through things that aren't seen, heard, or spoken? When you put your trust in someone you shouldn't have, when you made a choice without divine guidance, or when you agreed to something even though your gut told you, this is not for you. The enemy doesn't have horns when it first shows up. They look like what you think you need, with promises that are too good to be true and too much sweetness. You let it go because your heart is pure. Heaven didn't miss it, though, and I, as your guardian, have been fighting behind the veil to keep that moment from costing too much. Dear one, I can't put it off any longer. That's why this message showed up at that time. It was timed by heaven. You are about to pay for your silence, your delay, and your mistake, unless you let this truth fully wake you up. I don't mean to hurt you, my child and beloved. I say this to lift the veil, because you deserve to be seen clearly. You have the right to know what has been following you around, waiting for the right time to strike. Someone says nice things about you in public, but when you're alone, they make you feel bad. They copy your words, your light and your blessings, becoming like parasites on your spiritual path. Why did you let them in? It could have been out of kindness, guilt, or a sense that they knew you. This person doesn't want you to rise, though, and what you did not long ago gave them the access they were looking for. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to take you back. I can't do it by myself, though. Listen to this message all the way to the core of your being if you want me to stop this before it hurts your reputation, your money, or your future. Let's not act like everything is okay. Stop calling this pain a coincidence. You need to believe what's true. Someone who wasn't deserving got something holy from you. My beloved child is making plans for something right now. Since the last time you talked to them, they've become so darn brave. I saw it take place. The people around you took your silence as okay. They thought you were weak because you were calm. When they thought no one could hear them, they said mean things about you. But everything is heard in heaven, and I, Archangel Michael, am more than just a messenger. I am God's sword of justice, and I am ready to act. But I can't strike until you give up. I need your yes. Not the yes you say out loud, but the yes that's in your heart. The kind of yes that says, I'm ready to be safe, even if it means letting go of someone I care about. I am done trying to fix what God already told me to let go of. That kind of yes. The roots will get deeper and harder to get rid of the longer you wait. And beloved, you would not wait another second if you knew what heaven has in store for you just beyond this person's shadow. There is one more thing you need to understand, my child and beloved. There was a meeting in the spiritual world set up for your name, a miracle that should have happened by now but didn't. Do you understand? Because heaven doesn't send treasure to dirty ground. You can't have what is holy and harmful at the same time. That's what your mistake caused, a delay, some fog, and a lack of alignment. God stopped it. Still, your blessing is yours. It hasn't been given to anyone else yet, but time is running out. If you keep going in this direction and pride, shame, or fear keep you from fully understanding this message, the blessing that was written for your name may be sent somewhere else. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you wouldn't get ready. Don't let that happen. I speak with a sense of urgency that makes my spirit shake. But God and I are both keeping an eye on what you do in the next few hours. He still wants to give it to you. My child, my beloved, the mistake you made didn't get you kicked out, but it did spark a test. Every move you make from now on is part of a spiritual choice. You are being watched, but not with anger or fear. There is hope in heaven for you. People from your past are watching. The angels don't want to breathe. Should you pass this test, you will not only get restoration, but also speed up. What took longer will take twice as long. What was broken will be fixed with something even more lovely. But you can only do that if you deal with this now. Some people are only close to you to get in the way of what God is doing in your life. If you stay with this message and stop avoiding the truth, Your soul already knows this. Even if it hurts, you have to let them go. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone, my child, my beloved. There's no need to explain why being around some people, even when they smile in public, makes you feel odd. Should you feel like you can't explain why something isn't right, you don't have to. We're not crazy about that. That is having discernment. It's been getting stronger lately because your soul is telling you that the small mistake you made broke the wall that was protecting you spiritually. There are whispers, delays, and small shifts that the enemy is using to get through it. These things leave you tired, confused, and misunderstood. You've thought about why blessings seem to come and go so quickly. You've thought about why the people you trusted slowly turned away. It's because the access point wasn't turned off. You gave them permission and never took it away. This message is your chance to lock it down and get back in line with God. If this word speaks to you, please share this message with someone who needs it right now. You don't lose the anointing when you share a prophetic word. It grows. What God does in you can be a breakthrough for someone who is close to you. Sharing can sometimes lead to obedience. This is where planning turns into doing. Right, I choose alignment in the comments if you're ready to get your alignment back and close all the doors that you should never have opened. These words don't mean anything. They show where to go. They let your spirit and the spiritual world know that you are no longer floating. You are making the choice to align on purpose. Wait. The next part will show you exactly what this choice starts to open up. Don't wait any longer. I'm standing over you with my sword drawn, but I need your okay to hit you. You can get divine protection without any conditions if you are ready to let go of what has been draining you. Type Amen in the comments. As stated, I agree to the terms. If you say this, it means you're no longer trying to fight alone. Let go of any doubts you have as you write it and stay in the present. What comes next is about healing and taking back control of your life. It's not just about safety, my child, my beloved. It has to do with purpose. You have a unique item with you. People can't copy the light you carry. That's why someone is after you. Even if you try to live quietly, some people will still drain you because they stand out in the dark. When you made that mistake and let that person get close to you, it wasn't just anger. In a spiritual way, when you put your trust in something that belonged to heaven, your peace, clarity, and favor started to leak. You can fix it now, though, if you listen. Put down your pride and say you knew something was different, but were afraid to face it. You don't have to stay stuck in the result. Things won't get better by themselves. They won't change until heaven has a chance to fully step in. I've been waiting around you. If you don't invite me, I can't go. Do not forget this, my child and beloved. The person who says they are there for you, but really wants you to fail. They say nice things about you in public, but behind your back, they plant doubts. They are confusing your identity to keep you from moving on to the next level. Most likely you've thought, maybe I'm the problem. That's not you. This is what happens when you are spiritually connected to someone whose intentions are bad. You still have time. Heaven picked this exact moment because everything they planned is almost ready. If you make one more mistake, it could hurt your reputation, your money, your family, and your energy. Listen up now, though, and let this message get into your heart. I can cut it off at its source. You might be wondering why God let this happen, my child and beloved. What the hell did heaven do to stop you sooner? Your spirit was warned, though. You were pushed. You had dreams. You didn't listen to your gut because of pain from the past. You wanted peace, so you agreed to something that wasn't real. You wanted to move forward, so you gave in to pressure that looked like an opportunity. God never left you, though. It was just enough for him to wake you up, not enough to kill you. That's kindness. You can start over with this message. Not just a warning, but also a change. Not only a fight, but also a key. It's not too late, but you're almost out of time. That's why I need to raise my voice now. This message is holy, my child and beloved. You didn't just happen to find it. It was put in your way today because an event was set to take place soon. Heaven is making new plans because you opened this message. There is now a new outcome possible, but you have to keep going. Do not rush. Do not skim. Your spirit is being changed by every word. You close a door you left open too long with each sentence. The process won't finish if you stop now. They can't hurt you if you stay, though. You'll come out clear, strong, and blessed. Remember this, my child, my beloved. In his stories, God never writes the endings without first offering redemption. Heaven watches over you with love, even when you trip. Love doesn't always whisper, though. It roars sometimes. Today, love is roaring because a lot is at stake. What is at stake now, my child, my beloved, goes beyond what you can see. The effects no longer just affect you. The bad energy that was allowed to get close to your spirit has started to affect your name, your money, your health, and your peace. You may not have noticed it yet, still acting like it's not real and everything is fine. One day you'll wake up and wonder how something that was once so perfectly aligned got away from you. I'm telling you this with all my fire in my voice. You need to do something if you want to keep the promise. Open your eyes. You need to get back what you gave up by accident. The enemy thought you were giving up because of the way you were silent, my child, my beloved. You didn't say anything. It didn't work. You tried to keep the peace because you thought your kindness would make things better. You didn't say anything. You were weak. People thought you were weak when you turned down the light to make them feel better. The person you let too close now thinks they have more control over your life than they really do. This is more than just an emotional betrayal. This is an offense to the spirit. They knew what they were doing when they touched something holy without permission. They deserve better than your trust. Stop giving them that. Do not stand up for someone who has been quietly taking away the good things that were meant to happen to you. I know that confrontation scares you. You don't want to fight. You don't want to hurt anyone. What about you, my child? What about the pain you've kept to yourself? It takes a lot of energy to protect people who would never protect you. This is not meant to make you feel bad. It's meant to wake you up. You were picked. Do you know what that means? Before you even took your first breath, God chose you to be blessed. You can't move like everyone else because of that. You can't just side with anyone. You can't give your time, heart, attention, and loyalty to people who were never meant to be in your life. It wasn't just a bad choice that you made that was wrong. It was a spiritual mishap. God tried to gently fix it before, but now it needs to be fixed with clarity. And clarity is like a storm. Things get broken. You have to look in places you don't want to. But it also tells you the truth that you needed to know all along. You have been spiritually attacked through relationships with other people. To drain you, it wasn't an accident. It was planned. The person who has access to your energy, my child, my beloved, knows exactly what they are doing. They looked at you. They watched what you did. To fit in, they copied your words. They used your light to look like they were safe. During this whole time, they set themselves up to enjoy your blessings without taking on your load. That's not from God. That's the opposite of nice. Stop letting guilt keep you stuck in a kind of loyalty that God never approved of. Do not mix up history and fate. People who have been in your life for a long time don't have to stay. You let some people stay even though they were only supposed to pass through. What is trying to get to you is now being blocked by them. God is not punishing you, but He also won't let spiritual clutter hide treasure. You need to clear it now. So close to something that would have changed your life, my child, my beloved. I saw it. In your spirit, it had already begun to move toward you. Everything was coming together, but the mistake made a wave. The deal you made, the door you opened, and the person you let in, put it on hold, but not cancelled it. And during this break, darkness hopes you'll fall asleep again, miss your chance, and bring the wrong person into the next chapter, making God rewrite what was already planned. You don't have to let that happen, though. This message sounds the alarm. Yes, I am waking you up, but not in a soft way. You need to remember who you are for heaven to be happy. You have been picked. You have been marked. Heaven and hell both keep an eye on you and are waiting to see what you do next. Know this, my child, my beloved. What holds back blessings isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's because you won't let go of something that heaven told you to leave behind. Your fate will not be changed. It is waiting for you to obey it. You thought that if you loved them enough and didn't pay attention to the signs, you could make things better. That was never your job, though. You're not God. Do not carry people who hurt you over and over again. You are not in charge of people who only come to you when they need your grace. I speak with divine strength. You will not receive the blessings you prayed for until you are brave enough to accept them. This will happen if you keep ignoring your feelings and letting people who betray your light off the hook. I have to tell you something very important, my child and beloved. It will save you, even if it hurts. Someone laughed at you and said bad things about your name behind your back. They got your weak spots not to keep you safe, but to use them against you. I heard what they were saying. I could hear the tone. I saw them change your words. This isn't fear. This is the truth from heaven. And I, Archangel Michael, have full power to speak. This person is not what you think they are. If you let them stay closed for one more week, they will steal something holy that was meant for you. Love was never their goal. It was power. My beloved child, the reason you've been feeling off lately has to do with your spirit. You took in energy that wasn't meant for you. That's displacement, the weight, the fog, and the loss of joy. In that case, your soul holds on to something your spirit rejected. The shift began as soon as you made that mistake. I tried to put off the damage. I tried to get your attention, but your free will kept pulling you back. It's now time. You need to pick. Align yourself with heaven, or let that mistake drag you into a future you weren't meant to have. What a painful feeling it is to find out you trusted the wrong person, my child, my beloved. But the pain is meant to wake you up, not kill you. You were honest, kind, and open. The enemy saw and sent comfort, but they had a secret reason. But God is still keeping an eye on you. I'm still standing next to you. I want to hear one word from you. That's enough. Let's stop pretending. Enough putting up with. Not scared enough of being alone. You were never by yourself. People were all around you. But nothing, not even heaven, can change your mind. You have to pick freedom. The spiritual world is already moving as you read these words, my child and beloved. A gate is opening. There seems to be less of a delay. Your spirit is waking up, so I see a divine record being opened again in heaven. Your name shines through again. You are getting back to being yourself. The fog that the mistake made is getting clearer. What you were afraid to face before is becoming clear to you. As a result, I am now allowed to go deeper with you. A blessing is so close that you could almost touch it, but you can only receive it if you do what the divine tells you to do before this message ends. There's no way around it. There is no jumping around. You have arrived at the right time, and I will help you complete each step. There is no way I can protect you if you stop now and say you'll come back later. The file will close again, and I will have to go back to battle without permission. Not doing that. Continue. Continue reading. You're now more than ever close to making a breakthrough. The season is not the right time to walk by yourself. Subscribe right away if you want to stay in sync with the prophetic flow God is using here. This connects you to messages that keep you safe, get you ready, and set you up for the promises that are coming. Staying where God is already speaking can be alignment. Tell my child, my beloved, this is very clear. The enemy's time is running out. Now you know why the attacks turned personal. This is why there was more confusion. So the person you thought you could trust changed all of a sudden. It's not a random act. It's a spiritual sign. Heaven is getting ready to give you something that will completely change your life. But darkness wants to keep you busy, hurt, and tangled up so you can't receive it. This message just now came because of that. I was sent because of that. That's it for now. You can't do this again. It's not worth wasting another year on people who were never meant to say your name. God was ready. I have looked out for. Now comes the moment when your choice will either let heaven's release happen or put it off again. Also, I don't want you to be late another day, my child. There is no more waiting for you. My child, my beloved, you have been put to the test of your strength. It felt like your peace was leaving you. That wasn't made up. That was the price of being close to the wrong person. The enemy turned someone you knew well into a weapon by knowing your heart, your habits, and your fears. You did not want to be betrayed. You were trying to find a place to belong. But the sky saw it. I noticed this sense of comfort has turned into a foothold, a hole in the wall. If it's not sealed now, it will get worse. And even strong prayers might not be able to stop it without loss. I'm not trying to scare you. For your benefit, I say it. If you hold on to that energy, you're agreeing to carry out consequences that God never wanted you to have. I need to talk to the part of you that doesn't believe you're good enough, child, my beloved. It's not the part that says, maybe I deserve this. You did not ask to be lied to. You did not ask for war with the spirit world. There was no reason for you to be used. Wanted love? You prayed with a goal in mind. That hunger was turned into a trap by the enemy. However, a mistake does not take away from a miracle. Grace still exists. Mercy is shifting. Due to your actions, God's love did not change. This moment is important because of this. You are not getting in trouble. You are being pulled out of the dark and the lies and into the light that has always been there. No, my child, my beloved, you are not broken. You have not gone too far. You have not messed up your fate, but you are very close to something dangerous. The bad things that happen get worse with each extra step in the wrong direction. In your dreams, in delays, in sudden confusion, and in plans that fell apart for no reason, you were warned. That was heaven looking out for you. The feeling was there. It was divine being in that pain. Although you were afraid to name it before, I came to speak out louder than your fear. If you finish this message and let the instructions sink in, you will see the enemy run away in fear because they will know that you are back in charge. Someone you care about is watching you struggle and thinks you won't notice, my child, my beloved. They believe they got away with it, but God has already shown them who they are. People saw what they did. What they said was written down. God knows what will happen, but He is giving you both one last chance. This is your chance to let them go, and theirs to step back. When you stay connected to darkness, bad things will happen to you, and God will not let someone else's pride make you suffer. In light of this message came like thunder. You're not losing. You're just about to break through. Heaven wants you to be clean before people say your name again. Heaven has kept you safe from many things that should have hurt you more, my child and beloved. Watching over your future while you slept were angels. I stood next to you and held back floods you never saw when you were too tired to pray, or when betrayal broke your heart. However, I need your help now. I need your yes to happen. The kind of yes that moves on from something that is making you feel dark. The type of yes that stops defending people who try to slow you down. Heaven can't let go of what you keep giving the enemy. The enemy fears your awakening, your clarity, and your fire the most, my child, my beloved. As a result, they worked very hard to keep you emotionally and spiritually confused. When you fully rise, they can no longer get to you. In that way, this message works, eliminating cords, exposing lies, taking masks off. The enemy will try harder if you ignore this and act like you didn't hear God speaking through these words. I don't want you to have to go through that again. Not now that you've come so far and heaven has already written the next part of your story. My beloved child, you have gifts that you haven't fully used yet. You were made to speak, lead, break cycles, and carry a light that changes rooms. There's no reason for your tiredness. You've been carrying something that wasn't yours. That mistake caused a lot of mess, noise, and confusion, initiated doubts about your calling. But now listen to me. They didn't believe in you before they chose you. Let go now, and let what needs to be cut go. Clarity, healing, and favor will come in so fast that you won't even recognize your life by the end of this season. My child, my beloved, I know that deep down you have been wanting a sign, a confirmation, or proof that your name is still remembered in heaven. This essay is that sign. Your arrival here was not a coincidence. In heaven, this was planned long before you asked. Something is already changing as you read this. I am not talking in a jumble. In spiritual truth I speak. It is clear to you. The weight is going away. There are fewer tears now. The confusion is getting clearer. Starting to see people clearly, not the way you wanted them to be, but the way they really are. That's not just a coincidence. That's how you align. That's getting up. Don't stop presently. Avoid looking away. If you want full restoration, you must follow the divine instructions in the last part of this message. Allow me to accompany you through it. My beloved child, get ready for something unexpected. After you read this message, someone will be taken out of your life within 7 days. Feels like it happened quickly. Feel ready to be shocked, but don't get scared. Avoid chasing. Repairing it won't help. This is a marvelous release. What is going away was never part of the deal. There will be more peace in the future than you felt in a long time. Believe what God is taking away. Ignore the pain. Subtracting that number makes room for multiplying it. The press release I saw, I recognized the good thing. The thing is already moving toward you, but it can't land until there is room. That is the reason you are still here. That is the reason you are still reading. Prayers alone could not open what you are doing. The next thing that happens is not punishment for my child, my beloved. It makes you clean. For a moment, you may feel alone, but being alone here is an elevation. God is getting rid of things that can't go with you where you're going. There are times when heaven doesn't clarify. It shifts, moves, shows, and rearranges things. It takes a while to realize that what felt like rejection was really protection. Not one of you will be left behind. You're being taken away. Feelings, thoughts, and bodies that you have been carrying around do not belong in your next chapter. That's why it's getting too much to handle. For this reason, questions are growing. Therefore, some people now feel like they don't belong. There is a line in the sky that heaven wants you to cross. Unfortunately, you can't carry what you're holding now and still get that miracle. My child, my beloved, a holy moment is coming up. Soon, people in heaven will say your name again. Not as a plea for help, but as a demand to be freed, a command to be nice. There will be a feeling when it happens, somewhat lighter feeling in your chest, feeling of coldness all over. There is a door where there used to be walls. There it is, the moment you prayed for. Do not delay. Therefore, if you are still tied to the mistake, heaven will wait. But now is the time to go. That's enough crying. You've done the work inside. Now comes giving up. Give up everything. You have no idea how much heaven has planned for you, my child and beloved. You're named on a warehouse. Not only money, but also peace, healing, time back, and losses paid back. Each tear was important. No prayer was ignored. There was no waste. You will feel something very different after reading this message if you stay with it until the end and let it change you. Relaxation will come back. Your thoughts will decrease. The stress that was there will go away. That cleans the spirit. That's the alignment of God. Word by word, that's the veil coming off. Listen to this truth carefully, my child, my beloved. You weren't disqualified because of your mistake, but you did need to explain it. This pattern can't keep happening even after you pray. Asking God to heal you while staying close to the wound is not possible. For God loves you too much to do that. This isn't a sentence. This is changing the path. You won't have to look for peace anymore if you let it happen. It'll be all around you. One last truth before the next lesson, my child, my beloved. It might look like loss when something is about to leave, but it is actually rescue. Even if you cry, those tears will help the next blessing grow. You'll know what to do when the new door opens. When you look back, you'll see that heaven saved you the whole time. I can feel your spirit changing, my child and beloved. That lack of calm is not anxiety. Peace is coming back to your soul. Chains are coming apart. It's a pleasure to say your name again. We will never forget you. The fog is going away, and what you are walking into is not just restoration, it is resurrection. Get your space ready. Get your heart ready. Someone who didn't believe in you will soon hear that your name is linked to favor. You're not going to defend yourself. God will talk for you. From now on, your job is to obey. Obedience to the law. Clarity in obedience. Peace guides you right now. There is a divine transfer going on for my child, my beloved. It will happen this time without any trouble or betrayal. You were supposed to make it through the mistake so that you could carry wisdom. You did not get in trouble. You were made sharper. As we wrap up, please send this message to someone you know who has been late, confused, or fighting quietly. Words of prophecy move through connections. You spread the anointing to others when you share, which lets breakthrough reach your network. Who knows? Maybe what God is fixing in you is just what someone else has been praying for. I want you to ground this moment before we end. Write, "I release and I receive" in the comments if you are ready to let go of what doesn't belong to you and receive what heaven has been calling you to. This isn't a wish. You hand it off. You are letting go of the old weight and making room for the new. As we finish, stay grounded, because this closing seals everything that has been turned on. You have the spirit of a warrior. You fought even when no one was around. Heaven never gave up on you, even when you felt weak. That's why this blessing will last. It wasn't sent to you quickly. You earned it by being brave. Listen to this, my child, my beloved, and let it go. The fight is over. That cycle of fear, instability, and stress is coming to an end. Rest is the first thing that God writes in a new chapter. You're not going to chase what is yours. You're not going to beg for love. This is how you align. This is too much. I'm glad you stayed if you are still here. Alerts are not meant to hurt you. They were sent to keep you safe. Everybody messes up sometimes. What matters is what you do when you see them. You're not getting in trouble. You're being sent somewhere else. Trust your gut if something tells you to be alert right now. Knowing what to do is itself protection. Pay attention to this message, but don't be scared. Don't worry. Pay attention. Fixing things today keeps you from feeling bad tomorrow. Let these last words, my child and beloved, settle gently in your heart. What you just got isn't meant to weigh you down, but to keep you steady. Alerts are not meant to hurt you. They are meant to keep you safe. There are mistakes that everyone makes, and heaven knows this. What matters is what you decide to do when you become aware. You have not gone to sleep. You're being sent somewhere else. Right now, if you feel alert, trust that feeling, because being aware is itself a form of protection. Pay attention to this message, but don't be afraid. Stay calm. Keep an open mind. Fixing it. No regrets tomorrow if you act today. Do one simple thing before you leave this moment. If this message moved you, if it made sense, gave you peace, or confirmed what you already knew, like this video, this is more than just joining in. What it does is agree to something. When you like it, you show that you are ready for God's blessings, protection, and direction to keep coming into your life. Say yes quietly to what heaven is already doing.